day, and welcome to another episode of Talking Sports with Doug and Mike. Today we have a very special guest joining us. We have Ross Toellner. Ross, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm glad to be on. I was worried that I was never going to be on this show.
Well, you are today.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and you're in a very special episode along with Mr. Freider, too, because I won an award the past weekend for broadcasting. I have a good voice for broadcasting, and this shows it.
Not the face, though, for broadcasting.
Yeah, so see if we can get a good shot. So,
congratulations, Doug.
Yeah.
thank you
It's
very
outstanding.
much.
So what was that award for? It was for broadcasting.
It's for broadcasting. It's for radio. So, and actually, we got, for all Bayport, so Sam Plum and Johnny Samp, and then myself, we all got third, first, and second. So Sam Plum came in third for basketball, and then Johnny Samp came in second place for hockey, and then I came in first for hockey for Sheboygan versus Bayport for play-by-play.
Shout out to Mr. Learman taking you down to Madison to the conference that you attended and received that award. So a big thank you to him and NEW Sports Radio, obviously.
I'm glad you're wearing that. It's a nice little plug for him, too.
Yeah, I mean, from the 4 years that Learman has started this to today, it's really taken off. I mean, you were on his first broadcast.
Correct.
In football. He's won football. He does now volleyball. He adds hockey in there, 2 basketballs, both boys and girls.
We've done golf.
And then golf, and then there's,
Wrestling.
Yep, and then there's your 2 spring sports of softball and baseball. So
And we are debating doing the wedding,
yeah, I think that'd
broadcasting the wedding.
be good.
I did hear that on the basketball.
Well, we're
I'm like-
thinking about it.
Yeah. The Barnes wedding, right?
Yes, the Barnes wedding,
Yeah.
that's what it's
Yeah.
called. Yes.
I think that'd be a good time. I never broadcasted a
I
wedding.
don't think it's ever been done.
I think it'd be interesting.
I think it would be unbelievably interesting. The
I think it'd be
viewership would be through the roof.
Well, there wouldn't be any viewers; it's just listeners.
There's listeners,
Yeah.
right?
I think we could do a podcast.
I don't see a reason why. We should designate one podcast just for the wedding. Just
I think
to
we
the
should.
wedding.
Well, we have to have a pregame show and postgame show.
Pre-game, post-game interview, the
Yeah.
bride and groom after.
The starting lineup.
Starting lineup, that's it. Groomsmen, bridesmen. Yeah, that would work.
I think that'd be awesome.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about that.
All right, and then before at the end of the show, I'm gonna ask you some questions. Well, not a questions. It'll be just one question for the both of you to answer.
Outstanding.
So, all right. So let's start off. So we're gonna start off with the boys basketball. They played last Thursday, February 22nd. They upset Notre Dame 79-44 in that game, and Jack Plum got his 1,000th career point.
He did. First points of the game. He had 999 going into that game, and Mr. Rickle went to him right away and scored his 1,000th point. Jack's also Player of the Year in the FRCC conference. I don't know if you mentioned that, Doug. And
Is at the bottom here, but yeah,
Cordell Tinch, a first teamer too. So they're in action soon, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Their next game is actually on Friday, which is tomorrow, and that's the regionals. They play Green Bay Preble and Sheboygan South. They both are at 7 p.m. And then on Saturday, they play De Pere and Menominee Falls at 7 as well. And then if the Pirates can make it to the sectionals, which start Thursday, March 8th and go through Saturday, March 10th. On Thursday, the Pirates would play Manitowoc Lincoln at 7, and then on Saturday they would play Sheboygan South at 1 p.m. And then if they make it to state, that starts on Friday, March 16th and through Saturday, March 17th, and both of those games are at the Cole Center in Madison.
Correct. So tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, right here at Bayport High School. Bayport will take on, actually, Green Bay Preble. Green Bay Preble beat South on Tuesday, and so we'll take on Green Bay Preble, a team that we've beaten twice already this year. So hopefully it's the clean sweep of Preble tomorrow night.
Let's hope so.
Third game's always the most difficult, though.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
But I like our chances.
Yeah, I do too.
All right, and then for the all-conference honors and mentions, we have Ian Melcher for all-defensive team. Deland Phillips is all-defensive and an honorable mention. Alec Nagel is an honorable mention. And then Cordell Tinch, first team, and Jack Plum, first team and player of the year. What an accomplishment for Jack Plum to get player of the year.
Outstanding.
That
Obviously,
is-
the team won the conference championship, and so many times the conference championship team has the player of the year, like Jordan Knoll was last year and this year. Jack Plum, so back-to-back POYs, player of the year.
Yeah, it's an
Pirates.
amazing accomplishment for that team, and I know that Jack played 3 years on the varsity team, and
I think 4 years on the
all
varsity
4
team.
years. So 1,000 career points. I think that's not happened very often at Bayport history.
We have 3 kids who've scored over 1,000 points, and then my son is in 4th place.
Okay.
Brett, at like 980 or something like that. So,
Should have given him the ball. a little
well,
more.
probably should have, but that's Coach Rickle, and I don't know who's in charge of him, but we'll have to figure that out.
Whoever his boss is going to be off.
We'll have to talk about that a little bit later, off air, obviously.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, and then we're gonna go to the girls basketball. They played Friday, February 23rd, and Saturday, February 24th. They played Waukesha on Friday the 23rd, and they beat Waukesha 67-31. And then on Saturday they played Kettle Moraine, and that game got delayed, or I think it got pushed up an hour from 6 o'clock. So we had to race back on Saturday from Madison, and so that was really fun. Chris was more worried about the game than driving, so
Shocking.
But I know, but he does drive good. Just to say that he did not speed at all.
Really?
Yeah, and we had really nice conversations along the way. It was really interesting.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
We did that game on NEW Sports Radio, and we'll be doing tonight's game on NEW Sports Radio, the sectional. Do you have that there, Chris? Next game coming up?
Oh yes.
I mean,
Okay.
Doug. Well,
We're so used to having Chris
yeah,
out there.
exactly.
I'm like, I'm not Chris. All right. And then the sectionals that you said do start tonight.
Right.
And then they go through Saturday, March 3rd. On tonight they play Kimberly at 7. And then on Saturday, they play Sheboygan North.
Tonight they play Sussex Hamilton at Kimberly.
Yep.
Yes.
And then-
And
Should've
then
added that
probably we'll play Arrowhead at Sheboygan North, the number 1 ranked team in the state, on Saturday for a trip to state on the line.
Now, on the calendar, it says that they play Kimberly at Kimberly, which is really on the FRCC calendar.
They play Sussex
Okay.
Hamilton at Kimberly tonight, 7 o'clock. You can
All right.
listen to that game on NEW Sports Radio.
All right. Well,
So
thank
the
you
way
for...
I think that way that works on the calendars is it's showing where the team is playing
Correct.
at. So
Okay.
those sectional games, so like when you were talking about boys basketball as well, those sectional games are played at a certain high school. They're already determined. They're not determined who we play.
Okay.
It's determined where they're playing
Correct.
at. So just
Okay.
like where you're saying they're playing at the Cole Center, they won't play
Right.
whoever the Cole Center is, so the
Right.
Badgers. They'll play the team that's going to the Cole Center with them. So when we talk about, playing at Sheboygan South or something like that, those teams are yet to be determined on who will be playing. Except for tonight,
In the
girls play.
regionals, the higher seed gets the home game. In the sectionals, you play at a neutral site, so you'll never play at home for a sectional. So the girls are
Right.
regional champions, and they'll travel to Kimberly tonight, and we'll be doing that game on NEW Sports Radio.
Now, Mike, if let's say Bayport were to host a sectional,
Correct.
and they made it to the sectional, it'd still be played at Bayport.
Probably would still be played at Bayport at
wouldn't
that
move
time.
that,
Correct. They're predetermined sites,
Sure.
and so that can happen, but many times Bayport wouldn't be assigned that. We'll be assigned maybe a Division III game
Okay,
to guarantee that we would never play at that home site.
Sure.
But it could happen.
sure.
All right. And then on Saturday, they play at Sheboygan North. And I don't have the time for that game.
1 o'clock.
Thank you. And if they win out those games, they go to state
Correct.
here at the Resch Center.
Right here in Green Bay.
Yep. And state is March 9th, Friday, March 9th through Saturday, March 10th. So that should be a good turnout for WIAA state girls.
Should be outstanding when we're there.
I might go check it out.
Right. You could be on the broadcast with us possibly, Doug.
Really?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, that'd be perfect.
Outstanding. We are award winner.
Do you broadcast the games at in the Resch where they actually have the broadcasting, or are you in a different setting?
Plan is that would be right at the Resch. We go to
Right.
live from the Resch and live from the Cole Center.
Right, are you in the broadcast section?
In the broadcast section.
Oh, I'd love to come to that.
Well, yeah.
That'd be awesome.
That would be. Let's plan on that.
All right.
Okay.
I would have to show up on Saturday.
Right.
We have to get there too.
Well, yeah, I do. but
Yeah.
Minor things along the way.
Yeah.
Winning a few
It would be
These-
cool.
These 3 guys talking about girls basketball and making sure that they go to state.
Right. Exactly.
All right, and then here are some other honorable mentions for girls basketball. So we have Elena Abel, all defensive team and honorable mention. Maddie Drake, an honorable mention, and Emma Nagel, first team, and Mackenzie Johnson, second team, Katie Coleman, and then the staff are coach of the year.
All sophomores. The 4 girls who received all conference awards, all sophomores, and Coach Coleman.
And 2 of those on the sophomore powder puff team that's undefeated.
Yes,
so far.
that you coached, I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah.
Right. The next Mike McCarthy, they call you.
Exactly.
All right, and you had something with the bowling ball going to state.
I do. The bowling team's going to state. I'm going to announce that today at 1 o'clock. That's exciting. And so Sky Dirks, Hayden Paulus, Madison Paulus, Logan Reinholtz, and Elena Williams will be representing Bayport this weekend in the state bowling tournament. So we wish them the best of luck. They leave tomorrow at 11, and we'll give a little announcement and shout out to them today around 1 o'clock.
Is that in Madison as well, or?
That's a great question where the state bowling tournament is. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll have to find that out before 1 o'clock today. Stay tuned.
And then we'll have an update next week.
Yes, we'll update the bowlers.
Well,
Hopefully they
What's the highest bowling score you ever got?
240.
Really?
Yes.
What about you?
I'm a lefty.
Are you really?
Yeah, lefty.
Nice.
Earl Anthony like. Do you know Earl Anthony the bowler?
Don't. Do you do the two-hand bowl? Like,
No. I'm a one-hand bowler.
all right.
Yes.
Okay. What about you?
My highest bowling score, probably like a 120 or something.
Wow.
That's half of what I just had.
I got about a 60, so.
Well, we're working our way down. So it's kind of strange bowling. A strike is a good thing in bowling,
Right.
Yeah.
but a
Yeah.
bad thing if you're the batter in baseball, right?
And even worse if you're in, like, boxing or something, you get strike.
Good point. Or
Yeah.
or someone goes on strike.
Right? Yeah. I don't plan on it.
Okay,
by the way.
I'm just saying. It can be used in a lot of different ways, can't it?
Well, speaking of baseball, I am excited for baseball season to come around, and the Brewers are starting to play now in their spring training.
Right?
So they seem like they're doing very well playing together,
I
having
think
some
big
good
year
guys.
for the Brewers coming up, no question about it. I think they plan to make the playoffs this year. That's the plan, and should be fun. Baseball season's always great. I'm actually going to go to Colorado in May and watch the Brewers play the Colorado Rockies with my family. So
You
it
do
should
know
be a
that
good
they
time.
play in Milwaukee, right?
They do, but
There's
we're
a
going to go to
little bit closer.
Colorado because my
Closer.
sister-in-law lives there. So
Okay.
visit.
Oh, cool.
Take
Don't
a
lose
couple-
your breath, 'cause
take
that's
it-
a
I know,
really high
it
stadium.
is. Mile High. That's the
Yeah.
Yeah.
football stadium.
Yeah, that's
Mile
football.
High Stadium.
Yeah. All right, and I have a correction from last week. I said that there were going to be state qualifiers for wrestling, but we do not have any state qualifiers. But I do want to congratulate Max Mewison?
Music.
Max Musin.
Mewison, thank you, for his fourth place finish. And then they finished first in the conference with 7 wins and 0 losses. So all those names I mentioned last week were all sectionals. I think I said state, so that's why I'm correcting myself now. But if you want to go back and listen and then correct me now or next week, so that'd be perfect.
Well, you didn't have Mike there to help you out with it. So.
Right, I couldn't make last
Yeah.
week's broadcast. I heard the listenership was way down.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I actually heard it was way up.
Was it?
Yeah.
No, actually, for both of them, we were in the 90s, and then the other one we're at 45.
Oh,
The one I wasn't on?
Yeah, the one you weren't on. See,
I could be
that's
telling
why.
you something, right?
Well,
Yeah.
We should be
It
well
should be
above
like
that
half
now.
because it's the Mike and Doug show, and if only
Yeah.
one of you are here, probably only half the people would listen then.
All
One of
right.
the crazy things about Max Musin, at least for wrestling, first year ever wrestling
Correct.
in his life, and takes fourth place at sectionals. That's pretty amazing, and I think all the coaches believe he's got a really bright future.
That's what they say. So I actually worked out with him yesterday. He was in the cardio room on the bike and talked a little football and upcoming track season, which we'll cover track here, I'm sure, and talking sports with Mike and Doug.
Yeah.
Track, baseball, softball, girls soccer. Should be a real interesting spring season, as we had a great winter season, winning conference championships in boys basketball, girls basketball, wrestling, and missing one.
Swimming.
And swimming.
Swimming, yeah, for 3 years in a row for swimming.
Yes. So it's been a great season up to this point, and this show should only make it better.
I think so.
I would agree with you.
All right, so here comes the last question. So being really big into sports, did any of you play sports in high school?
I
You
did.
go first.
I was a basketball player in high school and a golfer
Oh,
in high school and a golfer in college. And so I played a lot of basketball growing up. I also played a lot of tennis, a little bit of football, a little bit of cross country thrown in there. So yeah, I love athletics. It was a big part of my life, and still enjoy running and working out to this day and playing little hoops even. Well, speaking of basketball, I don't know if the intramural team last night, our staff intramural team, took the championship.
really?
2-point win.
48-46 on a
Oh, wow.
putback by Adam. I think a putback by Adam Shenzi, Mr. Shenzi, with
Oh,
a game
wow.
winner with about 40 seconds left. So, shout out to the staff. Maybe we could have some of the staff players on the show, guests.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them, so.
Right, exactly. So, Ross, what about your historic
Oh,
athletic career
A
at
historic
West
athletic
Appear?
career. So let's see. 4th grade. We'll start way at the
Wow.
Oh,
beginning.
geez.
4th grade, second place in the Our Lady of Lords basketball tournament.
Still have the trophy?
Scored 1 point. It was just a medal. No trophy.
No trophy.
No trophy.
Very nice.
After that, it just all went downhill.
That was the top.
That was
That
the
1
top.
point performance in
That
fourth
one-
grade. The pinnacle.
Yep,
Like
that
you and
was-
LeBron James.
That was
almost.
it. Unless you want to count Madden or like a baseball video game, my God, nothing else.
Coaching.
Although, yeah, coaching.
We've coached a
course.
couple Powder Puff teams
Yeah,
to
I have.
victories.
Yeah, 4-0 with this sophomore team. We won't talk about the other 4 years before that. And
Well.
only winning 1 year, but
4 straight?
Four
You
straight.
probably got a good chance to three-peat and
Yeah,
four-peat.
I think so.
Pretty talented group. That's that group of sophomore girls we were just talking about who are also all soccer players.
Yeah, I really do. I think that we got a great chance to go 8-0. We just have to have better refs sometimes.
Good point. Sometimes that's me.
No, with you mentioning golf, I think we're going to have Mr. Bookinger on one of these days when golfing season comes around.
Outstanding. Mr. Booker's a very good golfer himself.
Yeah, so I think we're going to have him on. I just talked to him. He said that 11th hour he's open, so we will have to change the show time, but that doesn't change the difference because we can still upload it right away. So,
That'd be awesome.
all right. Well,
good.
I thank you for coming in, sir.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. And thank
Doug,
you.
like always.
And thank you, co-host.
Award winner, Doug Santelli. There's a
Remember, listen to all those wonderful sports.
And listen to us tonight, Kimberly Basketball on EW Sports Radio tonight. Then we'll have the boys on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here from Bayport. Then we're going to go back to Sheboygan at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Then have the boys again Saturday night. So 4 games here in the next 3 days. And go Pirates.
Yes, sir. Go Pirates.
Outstanding.
All right. Well, this is all the time we have here on Pirate Sports Talk with Doug and Mike. We'll see you next time.